God, fuck. Wow. Well played. I want to go ahead and do a little bit of a Rashid breakdown because my brain is full of pain and anguish. And the only solution to that problem is to be less stupid. I'm going to talk about Rashid. His character is top tier and hurts my feelings a lot. The biggest thing about Rashid is he's such a freaking pressure monster. He's the best at stealing turns, getting a turn, and keeping that turn. And the main thing is, with all the sequence of his pressure, you usually have one shot to react or guess which option he's going to choose to keep the pressure going. And if you don't get that opportunity, don't check it or don't escape, you're going to end up being stuck in that situation again for what feels like another eternity before you get your next shot to escape the pressure or eat it. You need to be really ready, like on a dime. Immediately react to the situation and avoid it, because he does have gaps in his pressure, but it's just so hard to see. So after throw, what are his options? I've been trying to figure this out. So after throw, dash up throw, sometimes Rashid sneak this in, but this is definitely not real. Throw, dash up throw is actually like -3. So 3 frames definitely beat that. In fact, that's a true punish. 3 frames is a true punish on the dash, which means if you want to deal with this throw, delay tech is actually very good at beating this throw, since you can definitely delay tech it and block any meaties. You can tech this very late, because one option they would do, I think, is throw and then immediate crouching fierce. That is a true meaty. I don't know exactly what frame, but you cannot EX upper, so it hits on either frame 1 or 2 on your wake up. But I think that means you can delay tech it. Like that timing. And I think that'll work just fine. So this gets me thinking that delay tech might be a decent option every once in a while, but of course you gotta be careful about that. But another thing is, what if I just do like delay jab? See, I did a jab on that input, but do it in a timing where you block the crouching fierce. And then if he happens to do dash up throw, you gotta master the timing, but I think this mathematically adds up. So I've been thinking about trying to do this. Or maybe at least delay 3 frame. Mathematically, it all lines up. He actually got nerfed in a lot of ways after Season 3. And one of the biggest nerfs is his heavy punch mixer no longer puts you back in the corner. Another option that Rashid's used to do is they would dash up throw you, and if you jump the throw, they would just do heavy punch spinning mixer, and that would catch you from jumping over their head and just put you back into the corner. So say they do that sequence. You just hold up forward, you get hit, but you're over here. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't have options to keep you in the corner. Why would Rashid dash after throw? Because Rashid players are crazy. See, Rashid's real pressure options are so strong that they condition you to respect the fake stuff. It's definitely done a lot. That's the mix-up, because that's how they're going to throw you again. But anyways, what I realized is I think jumping out of the corner might be stronger than it was last season, and it might be something that I use more often, because if you're holding up forward and they meaty you, you don't get crush countered. That's like a big deal. So it's a lot stronger than just necessarily mashing every time, right? So let's try this. I don't think you can cancel because he only gets the second hit. So if he does immediate crouching fierce, I don't even think he can get the cancel. So that's not the end of the world. If I hold up forward there, and I just eat that Crashing Fierce. So the other thing you see them doing also is Standing Fierce, but Standing Fierce actually doesn't connect unless they walk forward. This just whiffs. So that means they have to walk forward to make that connect. So that's how he gets the cancel there. And there's probably a way for him to manually time that to be meaty. That's kind of weird that his forward Fierce is overhead. That doesn't combo? Interesting. Oh. How did I get that to cancel? So you can walk forward. Ah, that's interesting. So it's not a true meaty, but if I walk forward a frame, I can get it to cancel to hit on the first hit. It's not working for me. But they can still just do this. Oh, they can just do that. It leaves you in the bad spot. Okay, that is very bad. That is very bad. Why does this character have so many options? Holy shit. Corner to corner, pretty much. Well, it's something to consider. At least it's harder than that, because that is just such an easy to do option select. That's sort of like an option select too. I still think it's better than doing nothing. Ideally what you would do is react to the dash, but that is just incredibly difficult to always pull off. Alright, let's see about these strings into Fireball. Now, yeah, normally into light from these heavies is a string. So there's some sort of like option select ability. But you see how much of a thin line it is. It's all about that spacing. So it's only if I do heavy that I can cancel. Interesting. So medium, you cannot V-skill cancel. Only heavy and EX, it looks like. And that's -2. -5. Interesting. But I mean, usually that's going to be like out here. +2. +2 if he gets in. Is that true from out here also? Oh no, he's way more plus. Yeah, if it hits meaty, it's way more plus. As expected, the distance affects how plus it is. Here's the difficult part. You have to be able to train yourself to recognize the difference between like the mediums and the heavies and the EX. The light one is pretty much always a block string, but the tricky part comes when you're at this kind of a range. You can't interrupt the heavy. Sometimes I feel like the EX moves his hurt box a little bit more forward, so it's a little bit easier to intercept. But the heavy seems to have a little bit more of a reel back effect, because it actually has a bigger gap. Yeah, that's gonna counter hit every time. I don't know why his fireballs are with kicks. That throws me off every time. But of course, all the EX cancels lose that. Because Rashid has so much variability in the spacing and the timing for the cancels, you can't just comfortably V-skill or check anything. That's why this character is so ridiculously strong. My theory fighting mind is telling me to train myself to the best of my ability to be able to react to the heavy cancel. React to a heavy cancel with EX dash straight. Because so many times I let Rashid get free turns because of that. That's a free +2 once he gets in. And the consequences for challenging incorrectly are just so high. If you see medium, I could have probably pressed light kick there. That one was heavy. That's medium. But there's also maybe like a little bit of an option select timing to this. Because what I'm trying to see is if I delay the EX dash punch to the point where I'm in block stun from the medium, that's very difficult. That one, I have to press light kick after. See, all these are actually at a range where I can light kick, so this is not a very good recording example. So if I see crouching fierce punch within this range, I should always be pressing light kick. Or maybe even just jab buffer every single time at this range. Because if it's pretty much an option select. So if you're not familiar with this, if he does just a raw crouching fierce, the second hit will put you in block stun. So you pretty much just OS that button. So it doesn't come out if he doesn't cancel. So most people already know that about Rashid, but it's a pretty common tactic. So if they're within this distance, it's too close. This is guaranteed. I need to see that crouching fierce and jab buffer every single time. And in fact, I could probably just do it without charge every single time. Just do something of that sort. And you see, if he does just the raw fierce, nothing's gonna come out. And the light one is usually a block string. And you know what? It's not the end of the world. I gotta do this faster. It's not the end of the world if I get hit by a light tornado. Because generally it's block string, but if it's not, whatever. You need to do something against Rashid. You can't just sit there and take it all day, because you'll never get to play. But let's try this. Let's record this a little bit better. Let me get my spacing better, because there's a certain range where he can cancel. I'm fairly certain you can cancel it, but it won't activate, or your light kick won't reach. Or does that never apply to crouching fierce? Maybe that doesn't apply to crouching fierce. That might be standing fierce. Yeah. All right. Crouching fierce, if you see that button, you need to start mashing your 4 or 3 frame and interrupt. I think it's standing fierce where he has more control of the spacing. We're trying to record these all just on the very tip. Just the tip. Can't stop that. Can't stop that. Can't EX. Can EX the heavy. Can't EX the medium. The problem is he can also push you into the V skill. Yeah. If he V skill cancels these, I'm pretty sure you get pushed into the fireball. Let's see here. So much variability and all this stuff. See? Pushes you into it. Yeah, tap is definitely better. But even tap, a late tap? Maybe a late tap. I hate using tap though, because it's just not worth it. I'm about to go on a personal rant here, but if they're gonna make tap have like no advantages, make it one. I almost feel like it should be one button. It doesn't leave you in a good situation on hit or block. And I have to sacrifice so much to wait for this one opportunity. Yeah, but Iwate has a macro. My problem is, it's a personal problem, it's the button layout. I can't play the game. Okay, that's me doing it late? Are you doing it late there? So is that me doing it early or late? I guess it's me doing it early. Well, there's a... I don't know if he actually uses a macro, but he does it with heavy punch and heavy kick generally. So that's probably the best way to do tap. But I do tap with medium and fierce punch because my hand doesn't really play nice with doing the other one. I can't play the game while holding heavy punch and heavy kick. That combo's on counter hit, yeah. They're +2 on hit. So that seems to beat it pretty consistently. So if I see heavy punch, I can do tap. But what if he does any of these? Let's see. Let's see. Hey, are you? Just practicing here. Alright, beats heavy. Beats medium. Beats EX. So medium you can't V-skill cancel. Let's check EX. Let's check EX here. It seems pretty consistent. Let's check spacing. Let's go mid-screen with this. And let's see if I get point blank. Let's see. Okay, so there is some kind of spacing consideration. Let's do point blank mid-screen. Point blank mid-screen, nice. Okay, so if it's mid-screen and you're too far away, he pushes you into it. Yeah, you gotta recognize the spacing. See, it's kind of hard. But at the space where they're gonna use it there, this is pretty much guaranteed, isn't it? Ah, yeah, backdash, that's right. I forgot that was an option. Why is this working, though? Is this gonna work every time if I do it fast enough? Okay, backdash works at that range. I'm a little bit confused though. Let me test this again in the corner. Are you telling me that if I see crouching fierce, I should do light kick, but standing fierce? Okay. 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 Too heavy. Weird. Okay, so my problem with the heavy is the fact that usually that delay makes it so that I can't really interrupt it. Heavy's the first one. But maybe if I just keep jabbing, I'll clip it. I never thought of it this way. Interesting. This seems pretty consistent, actually. So if I block a standing fierce, I just need to mash, jab right away. Okay, so I'll eat that. That's not a block string. What if it's a little bit closer? Okay. So if it's close enough, it's a block string. Okay, it's pretty consistent. So this is the timing pretty much, because that's an OS jab on the rapid cancel. So if they do heavy, that's it. 1-2, that's the timing. Block it, 1-2. Did a little late, 1-2. A little late, 1-2. 1-2. Yeah, if you have a chain cancel low light, I guess you can kind of mash that for the standing heavy punch. But does that work on Crouching Fierce? That's the question. Crouching Fierce, 3 frames seem to be the answer. So Crouching Fierce, mash, 3-frame light kick. Standing Fierce, match, chain cancel, crouching light punch. Let's move on to another set of cancels that we should look at. All right. Block string. Light is generally a block string from up close with most cancels. 3-frame beats it. Crouching strong. Crouching light beats it. This hits on what? Hits on the 5th frame. Okay. Of course, jab beats it. Jab beats that one too. So jab beats all those. Now the issue would be if he does a spaced cancel. How spaced can you make this? All right, the chain cancel works. I think this is what I've been missing. I've been missing this idea of like chain canceling. Nice. Now, this stuff is not easy to interrupt, though, because they can vary the strings. But every once in a while, you gotta commit to mashing. Okay, for the most part, it seems like mashing, crouching jab. Crouching fierce will do light kick 3-frame. But for the other ones, it seems like crouching jab, chain cancel is the way to go. So medium gets interrupted. Ah, you tricky character. Weird. This one I can't get down. There might not be an OS timing for this one. What I'm getting at is it would be nice to have a brain dead option that I could spam. So this one I can't really spam because of the distance. This move has enough distance to kind of make it so that it's questionable if this is going to work. Obviously, any of these heavy fireball cancels, if you can actually call it out, this is the best thing to do to it, is EX dash punch it, or maybe even jump forward. Rashid can V-skill cancel, get underneath it. But it's good to have a fallback option where you don't have to think as much and just check things automatically, because my reactions are just not good enough, or I'm not prepared enough in the matchup. I don't have enough experience to just call this shit out right away. Okay, so towards medium, jumping is an option. That's a new one. So basically the cancels from crouch fierce, I'm taking some notes here. Standing light kick is what you want to do. For standing fierce punch and standing and medium punch, you want to do mash, crouching light punch. And then for forward medium punch, it's usually crouching light punch, but you can try jumping. Jump all but light. There's so much more to this matchup, but I think I need a tiny bit of a break in just theory fighting about it, but it's pretty good to know. I think in summary, for just at least corner fireball pressure, we have some good options. If they do heavy punch cancels from any of these normals, you can always do EX dash punch and then combo that into the overhead cancel, which is very strong. So this is pretty much universal if you can react to it. But it's risky, right? You have to actually call it out, and it's nice to have a fallback option that's less reward but safer to do. So crouching fierce punch cancels, mash standing light kick, standing fierce punch, standing medium punch, mash crouching light punch, and forward medium punch you probably want to jump out of the corner. All right, I think that's all I'm doing. That's the end of the YouTube mode. It's all I can do in one sitting. This is too much thinking.